We get one for the channel. Yeah. Little testy. So
little testy. Have a little stretching.
Not a little testy. A little test bike. Welcome to episode 7 of the Recharge Podcasts. We're your hosts. I'm Rob.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Will.
Today we have got the top hottest e-bikes for 2024 so far. Loads have come out, so we thought we'd cover off the most important ones we found. We've got, how many is there?
21.
21.
Oh, maybe more. Maybe 22.
All right, there's a lot of e-bikes to get through, so we're going to rip through these, but these are the hottest e-bikes, all the brand new kit from various different brands. So first up, we have the Propain Sresh.
Weird name.
Sresh. It's a weird name, isn't it? Sresh, but the bike looks pretty sick.
Just on the name, is it like Sresh?
I think it's a play on that, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, I don't know. And the thing that jumps out to me with this, well, it doesn't jump out to me, is like, what's the difference between that and the Ekano 2?
Travel.
Yeah, this looks like it's so. Let's go through it. It's a 160 fork, 150 rear, Shimano EP801 motor. I got to say, the Propains do look really nice aesthetically, don't they?
I think it looks aggressive.
Yeah, I like the new Propain shock design. Do you remember when they used to come with a shock mounted behind the seat tube?
Oh, yeah.
Like OG Propain. And I was always like, I like the idea that they were doing something different, but I was always like, that's a risky shock position. Like, it's basically your mudguard. But these new ones look great. They really, really do look great. And there's a theme. You know, it's like we look at Santa Cruz bikes, for example. The frames all look quite consistent. Propain have now got their well-known frame design.
Yeah, the Ekano 2 didn't look anything like a Propain, really, did it?
What do you mean?
The Ekano 1, sorry. The one,
yeah,
number one.
The one was like...
But now with the 2, it does.
Yeah, now they're all kind of following that consistent theme.
Yeah.
They've got a real unique design language, haven't they? The way they mount their rear suspension, the shocks, and that kind of pivot point. It's one of those that you instantly know, like it's a Propain. If you know their frames, it doesn't look. There's nothing generic about it at all.
And you know when you see those like compression tests, I say tests. You know when someone takes shock out or they run the shock with no air and you kind of compress it down. It's a really fascinating way the linkage moves. Whether it what difference it has to kinematics, whatever. Just looks. It's a nice different approach to frame design. You know you see a lot of 4-bar horse link bikes. Oh, does it look like a Trek Session? Everything looks like a Trek Session, doesn't it? And that breaks that mold quite well.
Yeah. So Shimano EP801 630 watt-hour battery, mullet, 160 front, 150 rear, 5999 from 5999. And get this right, it's from 20.8 kilos, which is really good. From a size medium.
It is. The only reason I was kind of paused there is because I was thinking, well, yeah, but you can custom spec on the Propain website. It's kind of like it feels like a bike shop pastime of just going on Propain's website and going, ooh, what would I choose?
They do have a really good like configurator, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
It looks amazing. And you just like, I think that's the problem though, is they must get like their click-through rate on their website must be people just going and designing dream bike and going, oh, I can't afford it. Don't worry about it. I'll leave it.
And but you see the price that it just keeps going up the price as soon as you add like something else on. Like
still great value for money though. Still like even when you add the parts, when you're talking custom bike, custom spec, like the reason a lot of these direct sales brands can do so well on prices because they're buying like bulk stock and they know what's coming on it. These guys have either got a order per thing, which they wouldn't do. They wouldn't make an order, made to order every bike like that. So they've got to have on hand a number of different forks and shocks and things like that, which is just a big expense.
What's the lead time? How long do you have to wait till you get your bike?
It depends. And I think lockdown wasn't a great time for many brands and all the rest of it, but I think it's like up to 3 months.
Oh, yeah, that's quite a lot.
That's like the McLaren.
Yeah,
no, but I think it's probably average about a month.
We're not saying that word anymore, ever again.
Yeah, that's it.
That is one of the nicest looking e-bikes I think out on the market. In that colorway as well, that teal with like the Fox factory. That is not 5999, by the way. That's like £10,000 plus. But I think it looks great. We're gonna have to move on because
we've only got limited time. One last thing I want to say is headset cable routing.
Yeah, you like that, don't you?
I wouldn't say I like it. Yeah, I was going to say, we talk on the pros, that's a con. Otherwise, great bike.
Yeah.
On to the next.
Do you know what? You probably don't know this, but we're getting one. We're getting one for the channel. Yeah. Little testy. So
little testy. Have a little stretching.
Not a little testy. Little test bike. Oh God. Okay.
Sorry, I should have. Oh, we're gonna have fun today.
That's the least harsh swear word we've said. Especially
it's anatomy. It's a scientific term. So we have a little stretching on it. There we go.
Next up, we got the Scor 6080 ZLT GX.
Oh, a ring to that name, isn't it?
No, I like this. This, to me, reminds me a bit of the Privateer, but with a bit more like pizzazz.
Go for it. Go on.
I reckon, yeah. So
why? Because it's raw.
It's a big old, yeah. Well, it's that whole aluminium. But so yeah, it's a big old bike. So it's 180mm travel rear, 190 up front, mixed wheel size, so 29 up front, 27 out back. It comes spec with a Zeb Super Deluxe air shock. GX drive chain, still mechanical? Yeah, still mechanical. Code RSCs, full aluminium frame. It has the new Bosch. There's a Bosch CX performance line motor, 750 watt hour battery. I just think it looks like a real tidy bike. The only thing that stands out to me was when I looked at the image, I was like, it looks like quite a slack seat angle. But geo numbers, in actual fact, it's 76 degrees.
Yeah, that is quite slack for modern e-bikes.
Yeah.
Like, it is on the slack side. You're definitely on, depending on the chainstay, you're going to be quite over the. Chainstay's way too short.
I was waiting for you.
435.
You're basically going to be sat over the rear wheel,
over the rear axle.
Yeah, so it's like a wheelie machine.
You aren't climbing any like super steep climbs on that. You're just looping it. But actually, that is a really nice looking bike. And again, their rear suspension layout, they're using like a VPP.
It's not exactly. It's a little bit different. But if you scroll down slightly, they've got a really interesting way of describing their technology. So metal AF, describing the frame material, suspension of disbelief. But it does look like a VPP system.
Your sidekick.
It looks like ChatGPT has come up with those
angles of attack. They've just gone on an AI.
Bosch is your sidekick.
Yeah. But so head tube angle, 63 degrees. I mean, for a long travel bike, yeah, it's in keeping. I think looks on this one play the best part for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's cool to see. There's not many long travel e-bikes out there. So 190 fork, 180 rear.
Can I just clear something up here? Short travel on an e-bike is considered 150, right? 150 and below, which it wouldn't be on a normal analog regular pedal bike.
What do you reckon, Will? 150 is like a...
Because you just said long travel, and I was like, well, 160 and above has always kind of been
longish
travel.
I would say 160 is like a long travel trail bike. Like 170 kind of enduro.
Will's given like eagle eyes.
I'm trying to think. I always think trail bike is like 150 and below ish.
Yeah.
And then enduro is like 150, right above 150.
150 and above.
I've got to say, I've never ridden like a 150, 160 travel bike and thought, I wish this had less travel.
Yeah, it's the sweet spot, I think.
Yeah.
For a lot of places.
Yeah, but you're not talking to an XC market, or you're not talking to that market, you know.
Like, but Swinley's quite XC, it's just over the road, so that even on a 180 is fine. Just dial up the compression.
We're going down.
Anyway,
we'll agree to disagree.
Right, let's move on. That's a cool looking bike. I do like that. Right, what have we got next? We have the Decathlon E-Feel.
I think great value for money. That's the main thing with this one.
Do you think though? 4,999.
Actually, yeah, no, scrap that. no,
that Privateer's 3,750.
Yeah, Jesus. No. So there was a couple of things that are quite interesting on this one. So the frame is made in Canada, aluminium frame, which is quite cool. So I think it was Da Vinci who went back to making their aluminium frames in Canada. So there must be some project where they're doing frame building there. It uses the new Shimano Link Glide, so it's quite cool.
TRP brakes.
TRP brakes. It could just be Tektro, but yeah, no, TRP brakes. Geometry's a bit lacking, like 65 degree head angle, but it's a slightly shorter travel bike. It's a 150 bike, I think it is. Yeah, neat. Yeah, not
I think it's. I do think it. Decathlon have been renowned for bringing out excellent value for money e-bikes, but I think at £5,000, it's competing with some of the major players. They no doubt that's a good bike for sure, but I think the brand selling that at £5,000 is quite a hard push when you can get lots of other bikes in that price range. But definitely cool to see them like progressing and making more bikes. I've had the Stylus before, like the
AM29er.
Yeah,
Bosch motor.
Yeah, that was right. Great value, and that was like £2,699, brand new.
Yeah, that was good value for money. This one, I guess, I think it's aimed at more of a competitive market. Like they've started getting into racing. There's like a Rockrider team, isn't there? So I think this is now like you're probably getting more of a complete build on a bike in terms of they've thought much more about how it rides rather than just going, there's a catalogue frame, let's put a good spec on it for the money. Anywho.
Yeah. All right. Next up, the Flyer Uproc SL X 8.70. What is it with bike names? Like, we'll come on some in a minute. But this, okay. So I've never seen this bike. So you've picked this one out. So trail lightweight Fox 34 Performance Shimano XT 400 watt hour. Oh, so this is a new Bosch SX.
Yeah.
Takes the power more. 2929. Wow.
130.
Yeah, it's not my type of bike.
No. But I think it's a really neat looking bike, and I think what I was reading is it's kind of like that touring, all mountain kind of style of mountain biking, not the whole like trail.
What is all mountain?
I see it as more like exploration, but I guess that's trail. It's just being able to hit and get around most things on a mountain without being able to hit massive features. So it's like you can get around everything, but you're not going to do it necessarily as fast or as quick on the up or the downs as you would with the bikes that more suited for those.
Mountain bike.
Yeah, it is just a mountain bike.
Yeah,
it's like an every person's mountain bike is how I see. But it's got a single pivot, but with flex stays, so it's interesting. It's an interesting means. So it's going to be quite snappy and poppy. It's probably more XC leaning than aggressive trail bike leaning.
Alloy flex stays.
Huh? No, carbon.
Okay, I was going to say. Interesting.
But I just think it's a really neat looking bike. I think they've done a nice job on the frame design. Comes with a headlight, I think.
Does it?
Comes with a head and a rear light.
Nice.
It's something we said we wanted on bikes, isn't it?
I think so.
Perfect.
Why not?
On a short travel bike, because then you're going to go off road, night, commute, everything.
Yeah. So the spec is actually pretty good. It's got DTHX 1700 wheels, Shimano XT, Bosch Powermore 250 that you can add as a range extender, 400 watt battery. Nice.
The factory ones looks really good, I think, with the
That's
Fox.
one was in the silver frame. I think that's a really good looking bike.
What's that one called? The SLX?
SLX 9.50.
Yeah. I just thought, I thought you'd quite like that, Will. Not necessarily from the configuration, just from a looks
It's
point
a bike
of view.
of triangles, isn't it? It's very angular looking frame, I think.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. We're now getting into rear rhombuses, not
on
rear
this
triangles.
one.
But this is a genuine rear triangle.
What? A rear rhombus?
Rhombus.
We'll get onto it.
Yeah.
It was
A bike will come up, yeah.
All right, so next up we've got this Mondraker Neat, which is a cool bike, but this is the Unlimited Golf. So what is that all about?
Well,
you go for it, man.
The Golf has a lot of motorsport racing history, doesn't it? And they do the Golf colorways. They did cars like Ford GT40 Racing Le Mans with the Golf. It's a very iconic blue and orange colorway. And for some reason, I don't know why Mondraker have done this, but they've done a limited edition.
Because it's sexy.
That is
I don't
really. You don't like that?
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Can we get a yay and a boo, or got to have some sort of sound effects?
What do you not like? The colorway. You don't like the colorway?
I think it's just unnecessary to have that on there. Why have
What
they
do you
done
mean?
that?
It's a paint job.
Yeah, but are they selling it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
What do you
so.
think? What do you think, Adam?
I think it looks great. I've always liked the golf paint job, and I think it lends itself to the frame design of that Mondraker really well.
Belongs.
I don't
on-
know if I like the forks though. I don't know if I like the white graphic.
The forks aren't quite right. They're almost like not the Fox Factory orange.
That's what I mean.
They've matched it, haven't they?
It's the orange of the Golf logo, it's not too dissimilar to the orange of like the Fox color. So it just looks like it's like not a proper painted set of forks.
It's pretty expensive. It's €13,999.
Yeah, but it's for lack of a better word, it's the McLaren market. You know, you're selling to the person who.
I don't think that is. I think it's an actual connoisseur of mountain bikes. Whereas the other market, the name that we shall not say, is just people that want to pretend they've got a really good bike, but they actually haven't.
Did you see the forbidden paint job that was like the pinstripe gold and black?
No.
Car-based one.
Anyway, so next up.
I have one question.
Oh yeah, go on.
Is it the same price as the spec bike? It's more expensive than the.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like that.
Yeah, I think the spec bike was like 10. Still expensive, but not that expensive. So there's definitely a premium on that.
It's just paint, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's also a painted fork. Like there's a lot of custom things that have gone into that now.
What, $3,000 worth? I don't think so.
Paint's not cheap.
Yeah, but it didn't cost more than like 400 quid to paint a fork.
Well, don't buy it.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
Sorted.
Don't worry about me.
All right, next up we've got the Polygon Siskiu TLE-R.
This is unreleased.
Ooh,
this is OG.
So shout out to Bike Rumor.
Yep.
Who have discovered this, Tyler, last month or in April. So tell us about this. What is this?
Go on, Will. Rear rhombus.
I didn't actually do that much research into it, but I just like the look of it and the frame shape.
So this is Polygon's entry to the lightweight kind of movement, which again, it's cool to see that more brands are still coming out with them. I thought we were going to kind of, like we said last episode, that we're going to see them trickling off a little bit. It's a really cool design for the frame. It's got an open section on the top tube where you can see the shock.
Why is that? You think I saw in the a bit of text that it was so you could see the sag, but it's
sagaloo.
the suspension sag. But I think also something about how the shock, it's to get the top tube as low as possible, to sit as low as possible for low standover.
Because you can see where this is a float X in the image, where it kind of bulges out where the bottom of the air can is meeting the stanchion.
So
it looks like it just gives it enough space to sit even closer to that. Like, and where it's the top tube meets the seat tube, it's almost like finned. It's like a cover. That's cool. Yeah, like a section cut out. That's cool.
I don't know how far a drop you can get in that. That drop is like stuck out quite a bit, and it looks like a very like kinked seat tube, doesn't it? So it doesn't look like you get much more than, well, maybe you can, I don't know, but yeah. Cool.
And so this is is it a Bosch SX motor by the looks of things?
Yes.
Yeah, Bosch SX. So
Shimano EP.
Oh.
EP8.
Yeah, with a 504 watt hour or 630.
Were you going to press the button?
I was going to press the boo, but then I decided against it.
But yeah, this was the first bike that came up that wasn't using a normal rear triangle. It's a rear rhombus. So that's where that came from.
Oh,
so if you
yeah,
look at the shape of it.
Yeah.
And we also looked at the high bike. So the high bike doesn't have a normal rear triangle; it has a rear rhombus.
It's I like that.
It's different. I have to say, it's
really
out of polygons. That's a really nice looking polygon.
Yeah.
But it's because they've gone from their traditional 6-bar linkage to their 4-bar with this one. So
yeah,
it just looks a bit cleaner. You think?
What press release did you read that from?
In this,
yeah, there we go. Thanks, Tyler.
So, do you prefer a rear rhombus or a rear triangle?
I think I prefer the rhombi.
That's why you're a big fan of that high bike.
Yeah. Oh no.
You love that high bike. What are you talking about? The ReCHRG podcast is sponsored by The Electric Bike Shop, the e-bike specialists. They've been selling e-bikes since 2017 from their first store in Bristol. And since then, they've rapidly grown from that single shop to now 10 stores across the UK, with more planned for 2024. The Electric Bike Shop supply a host of major e-bike brands, plus a ton of parts and accessories in stock. The Electric Bike Shop are highly reviewed by real customers, and they've achieved an excellent status on Trustpilot.com with hundreds of reviews. They offer free UK delivery, highly competitive pricing with price matching. They take part in the Cycle to Work scheme, and they carry literally thousands of e-bikes in stock for quick delivery. They also offer test rides where you can get hands-on with the bike so you can try different sizes. There's really nothing like getting on a bike and trying out the size for real to make sure you get the right bike size for you. So check them out at theelectricbikeshop.co.uk, where you can see the range, or you can even book a test ride direct from their website at one of their 10 nationwide stores. thanks again to the Electric Bike Shop for sponsoring the Recharged podcast.
Okay, so the next bike that's coming up is a bike that you really did actually like, which is the Orbea Rise.
Okay.
So the new one that's just come out, and we talked about that on one of the previous podcast episodes, but we were just looking over the spec, and I just continually look at that and go, it's a really, really well thought out bike, you know?
Yeah, I think that they ticked a lot of the boxes for this. 150, 160, but you can run it as a 140, 140. You can get it from...
And so would you consider this bike to be a short travel bike? Short travel e-bike?
What, 140, 140?
Even 160, 150?
I wouldn't say it's short travel. It's Orbea are verifying I'm human. It might take a few seconds to... Oh, it's been verified. Nice. I wouldn't say it's a short travel, 150, 160. I would say it's just an e-bike that's...
Just a mountain
How would I
bike.
classify it? Yeah, it was just a kind of trail e-bike, basically. Yeah.
So anything below 160 is trail. So it's technically
If you
short
wanna
trail. Yeah,
put it in
I'm
a
just
box.
I'm trying to pull it apart. I'm trying to. Because you said like longer travel bikes, but if you said like a 170 bike, that's still long travel to me.
I would say that's a long travel e-bike.
Yeah.
170 up, like long travel.
But the only reason I'm stipulating is because when we talked about the Scor, you said, "Oh, we don't see many long travel e-bikes because that's a 180, 190."
Yeah.
So you're saying
Yeah, I
Extra
guess
long.
like... Well, there aren't that many 180
180,
travel.
190s, yeah. Like I think the Propain Ekano actually might be 180 or 170 or something like that. And then there's got the Poly, and there's a Crestline is 180, 180.
Yes.
So there are some of them, but it's only a handful of anything above 180.
Yeah.
Most mountain bike seems to go 160, 170, I'd
Yeah.
say.
Or 150, 160.
Yeah, that seems to be the majority. Sorry, just to clarify that. Thank
Can
you.
we say something we really liked about this bike was the flip chip and that little tool that was in the pivot bolt area?
Yeah, on the horse, the rocker link.
Two things
Pivot
I really... I'm glad they put those in.
Yeah, they seem quite small and insignificant on their own, but when you're out on the trail, being able to just get it all out of the bike really quickly and adjust the flip chip,
I
it's...
thought you were being really harsh to Orbea. They're quite small and insignificant. I was like, no, they're not.
No, I mean
the tool.
the features. But it's sometimes brands say, oh, it takes 5 minutes to change the geometry by a flip chip, and you're like on the trail and the things fall out, washers fall out, and
It's always that
in the
classic
sand.
take out the lower linkage bolt.
Yeah.
To be able to, and then you've got to move everything around manually. Support your seat up so the bike doesn't just fold on itself. It's never a quick job out of a stand.
But this is truly like 30 seconds. Tool, turn
suspiciously quick.
Very, very yeah. What's suspicious about it?
How can it be this easy?
It was very easy. But you rode this bike, didn't you, Will? And you really like this, yeah?
I love it, yeah. I want one. So Orbea, if you're watching now. Next bike?
What have we got next?
Oh, Mondraker Dune.
Yeah.
Mondraker Dune.
Yeah.
We've already covered that bike.
No, we just talked about the Neat.
Oh, yes, of course.
So Mondraker going
Sorry.
hard. They are e-biking out of the ears. Everything is just coming out.
They call this a super enduro, don't they?
Yeah.
So this again lends itself to the question of like, this is a 170, 165 bike. Would you call that super enduro?
I guess so.
I would think the Scor is super enduro.
Yeah, it's just an enduro bike, really, isn't it? But
Yeah.
it's a really nice looking bike. I like the fact that it comes with a coil and comes with that Öhlins fork 180.
Yeah. It's good that it's got the Bosch SX because it kind of, I don't think like a TQ in a bike that's that long a travel really kind of fits that well.
Oh, it's Doddy.
Yeah. And then it suddenly turns into
that's
that.
nice. That's really
That's a cool graphic,
slick.
isn't it?
Really slick. Well done, whoever
They just
did
got
that.
rid of Doddy.
Yeah, no, that's
Do you think they could have done a 3D model of Doddy riding it?
that's really good, really clever.
Yeah, they've done it really neatly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, good bike. I've got one of those in for test, so full videos coming soon, but I've spent quite a bit of time on that. Did a couple of days over in Sintra in Portugal on that. Also had a massive crash on that in the Surrey Hills, which my fingers are only just
Yeah, it was bad. It was very
over
big.
the bars.
Over the bars.
Yeah.
It was like a high side, wasn't it?
Yeah, high-sided it, straight over the bars.
Wow.
But yeah, that hurt. When you're 43 and you crash, it takes ages to heal as well.
Yeah.
But that's a cool looking
That's
bike.
even a cool little feature that it's got a little...
Crash feature.
Not the crash feature. I hope the bike's all right. But no, there's like little things that are popping up. So when you attach the range extender, back to Duddy, when you attach the range extender, there's a little, when you move the battery port cover, you flip it up and there's a little channel to clip in the cable to where it runs.
Yes.
Just little things like that.
Yeah.
Really well thought out.
Yeah, the only thing I noticed on the bike, my early feedback, is that I can't get the dropper as low as I want. It's blocked off because of you see the pivot
position,
shock position. So you can't slam that dropper, and it's only a 170. So you
can't slam the 170 in what frame have you got?
I think
I'll have to clarify that actually.
You could slam it, but the seat tube was too tall, wasn't it?
The seat tube's quite high on the XL. It's like 490, which is quite
versus what reach on the
like 500 say, but the seat tube length is quite tall. 490 is quite tall. Comparatively, a Canyon Strive-On's 435, so you've got a lot more space to maneuver around. It does all depend on body shape, because some people don't find it an issue at all.
And it also depends on the ability to drop that into the frame.
Yeah.
But geometry-wise on this, on the Dune, where are we? Have you got a... There we are. Yeah, it's got some... It's fitting. It's got really good geometry numbers on there. It's quite Mondraker, long, low and slack.
Yeah. Frame weight's really low, 2.65 kilos for that kind of standard of frame is quite low.
What's the total weight on the Dune?
I think
20 something.
I think mine was like high 19s.
So probably so it's sub 20. It's sub.
I don't think it is.
I think it was 20 something.
Yeah, I think it was like 20.2
on an XL frame.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're talking a medium frame will probably be sub 20.
Yeah, maybe.
There
maybe depends on the tires, but yeah. It's around 20 kilos, so still a lightweight. Right. What else have we got? Oh, we got loads of.
We've got Adams.
Loads of. This is
Dream Bike.
Oh, sorry. If you don't tell me what you want me to press, how much
I can't really tell you.
I'm
going like this. I can't really tell you.
Okay, you say it again, and I'll press it this time.
So we got Adams Dream Bike. Yeah. I think it's a great looking bike.
Why is it your dream bike?
Because it's got.
Bro said, I don't know.
Because it's got plastic bits on the side. No, the suspension is the thing that excites me the most on this. Is having the WP suspension with a DVO forks. I just think all in all, it's a really neat looking bike. It was my favorite out of the powertrain bikes by quite a bit, but it's not. Yeah,
looks like a session.
It does with the red as well. It looks like
the Geo looks like really good actually. 461 chainstay.
Yeah, so it's not super tight on the back.
No.
You were like looking at me, it was like to be like, oh, it's not super short.
I'm surprised you like that because you normally like it
it's
quite.
It's the complete bike. I had a quick go on it.
Seat tube angle's quite slack though, 75.
And it's got a nice little kink in there, so you probably won't be able to drop the dropper too far either.
No, I'd say that the line will get you down to probably the middle part of where the kink of the frame is.
The other thing with the SRAM axis droppers is there's quite a high stack on the bottom of them. Yeah. So like you can slam it, then you've got the collar, which is really quite chunky, and then still some stack to the seat rails as well. So, but it is a really nice looking bike and great to see like a brand like GasGas progressing.
Yeah, this is definitely leagues different to any of their other bikes. But I just think, it's good.
Have we seen any in the wild yet?
Yeah.
Have you?
Oh, not out and about. No.
So you've had a go on one?
I've had a go on one. Briefly. Yeah, it was like a car bike ride. It wasn't one in vain. Okay. So we'll do 1.0.
All right, next up, we've got another Propain, the Ekano 2CF.
This was their powertrain bike. Yeah. Again, it's really distinctly Propain, isn't it? It's the same. This is what I said, it doesn't look that different to the Sresh.
Yeah.
It's like the same as looking at a Santa Cruz going, oh, they all kind of look the same.
Same.
Is it a bad thing?
I don't think so. Yeah. I think they look really good. I had this as to make a video on for the powertrain, and bike long travel, really progressive rear end, like super
supple off the top.
No,
good mid-stroke support, great bottom out. That's
classic. Almost too progressive. I found.
What, it ramped up too quickly?
Ramped up really quickly.
Do you reckon you ramped in the mid-stroke before like even getting to the deeper part of the travel?
Yeah, it felt like it. It felt quite, for a long travel bike, it didn't feel like a long travel bike.
I quite like that.
Do you?
I like get out of jail free travel. Like, it feels light and it feels like a trail bike because you ramp up the suspension and it's really progressive. But then if you get into a hairy situation where you're going to hit something harder and bottom out, you've got the travel there to catch you. So basically a trail bike in a wolf in sheep's clothing. For me, I still want a trail bike feel, but then safety room. It's
the most trail bike feeling long travel e-bike by far.
I'd like to have a go. I haven't actually tried one.
Well, you can demo them for free, can't you?
Down in Crawley.
In Crawley, yeah. You can take one out for a day, I think, for no charge.
Let's go.
I've gone already. I've done it already.
Nice.
Do you want to come with me again?
Not really.
No, okay.
No, actually, I do. They're nice guys.
Not me. I'm not nice. You don't want to come for a ride with me.
I spend too much time with you already.
So what else about the bike? What other features? SRAM powertrain with auto shift.
Yeah. So Will, do you want to just talk us through the Ekano 2 with the auto shift?
No. Auto shift, please. It's mixed wheel. You can go mixed wheel or 29, which is nice to have that option.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Auto shift, you can turn it off. That's great. What else is...
Yeah, what's the battery size on it?
630. Yes. And it's really light, that battery. It's under 3 kilos for that battery.
That's the SRAM battery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Custom spec on there, so you can choose how you want it to, but there's 3 models, so starting at €7,794. It's a pretty good price for a powertrain bike, considering I think that GasGas, Nuke Proof, and Transition were all like £9,000, £10,000 plus. So I think this is the most competitive powertrain bike price you could get. Again, the spec to mat with like SRAM DB8 brakes and like a basic Zeb. But nonetheless, you're still getting an incredible bike.
Can I just add, I've not seen any more SRAM powertrain bikes be released. Have you seen anything?
When did it get? So it's a year. It's normally a year after the launch they can do it, because this is the same thing with Flight Attendant. Flight Attendant was Canyon, Whyte E, Specialized, and Trek were the launch partners, and it was only after a year then you could actually choose Flight Attendant components as one of your Propain customizations as well.
Got it. So it's exclusive, bit like the Pignon with those brands. Okay, next up we've got the Olympia Hammer.
What is this?
I think aesthetically it looks pretty good. It reminds me a bit of like a Bold.
It's got like a Mondraker like front kind of triangle thing in there.
It's like a Frankenstein of a bike. So Mondraker front, Bold back end, and then what bike has a shock that runs?
Ancelotti.
That's like
it's not an Ancelotti.
It's like the Canyon, isn't it? And the 2S, that kind of shock design. Isn't
the one that runs straight again, like parallel to the down tube. I think it looks quite neat. It's the reason I wanted to put this on there is because it's the only bike that has an Ollie motor. We always see the same like main motor brands, but now you've got things like Ananda, you've got Ollie, you've got who's the guys who do the rebuildable motor? They come on.
Begins with P.
Polini.
There
we go.
Yes.
Yeah, Polini. So it's nice to get something different, and this does hold up a bit.
Is it good?
I haven't tried it.
What is the price?
It's a good question.
The website's
really
lacking in detail, isn't it?
Really lacking detail. You might have to go through a dealer. Even reach numbers are like small to medium. So there are 3 frame sizes: 439 up to 500. So it's not great. Like range of different things. 64-degree head angle, 77.5 and 78-degree seat angle.
They need to work on their website a little bit.
Massively.
Massively. But cool to see something different, like a new brand. All right, next up, we've got the bike that we've spoken quite a lot about, which is the Nicolai Saturn 16 MGU. I have mine on order, by the way. So
have you actually?
Yeah.
When's it arriving?
Legit?
Yeah, it's in the first batch of when they produce them, and they're saying they're shipping them from July. So
it's soon to be
2-3 weeks. We'll do a dream build.
Oh,
nice. We'll do a dream build.
And just quickly go back onto the Olympia Hammer 900 watt-hour battery is €5,699 on sale, down from €6,709.
It's not too bad.
It's not terrible for a 900 watt-hour battery. Not at all. That's quite reasonable. Anyway,
decent. So yeah, we've covered the Nicolai Saturn 16 a lot, but lots of interest in it. We really enjoyed riding it. We did a whole video on it.
Yeah, check out the video and also check out podcast number 4, I think it was, episode 4.
We went into detail on the MGU and that bike. So super cool. Hopefully we'll see more bring on that pinion motor in the next few months. All right, next up. Wow. This is the longest bike name I've ever seen.
No, you're missing one out. You've missed one out.
Oh, have I?
The Cannondale Moterra SL1.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that was really similar timing to the Mondraker. So it's a Cannondale Moterra, but it's a full powered lightweight.
I really like the look of this.
I think it's a really good looking bike. I think it combines all the best looking like trail bike designs.
Do you not think it looks a little bit squished?
Sorry, when I say I like the look of it, I mean I like the idea of this super slack lightweight.
Like the look of it.
It's the look of it's all right. It's like
I think it's a really good. I like
clean.
the angles. I like the shape of it. I think that's a really, really good looking bike.
But there's some key things for me. You can run it like super slack, 62.5 degrees.
Holy moly!
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Whoa! I did not know that.
Yeah, look at the Geo.
Where's Geo? There it is.
So
head tube angle 62.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like your Canevo.
62, but there's a flip chip, so you can make it steeper, like 63. But it's still slack.
What's the travel on this bike?
It's 100. Starts with 100 and something.
Oh right, I was going to say 100 mil travel. No, where's the? Here we go. Yeah. Where's the travel? 160, 150. That is slacker than the Scor at 190, 180 with a 150, 160. I'm actually really interested in this. This is the kind of bike I want, short travel, slack Geo.
This is,
I was just going to say this. They've said on here this is the lightest full power mountain bike ever.
Yeah, yes. So I remember when they said that, I remember Doddy on Instagram said, well, no, technically Mondraker had done it before. Yeah. And it's kind of a big, bold claim to throw out there.
I think they mean that it's the lightest of the current breed of stuff, but it's 85 Newton meters. So it's similar to the Rise, but the Rise is capped on the peak watts to like 450, 500, whereas this gives you the full 85 Newton meters and 600 watts, and it's lightweight, and it's slack as, with some customizations to the Geo. You can steepen it up a little bit, but
that's crazy. Why doesn't
20? Was it 19 or 20?
What's the battery size on there?
I think it's 630. It's the Shimano 600. It's custom 600 watt battery.
I'm really and again, I'm for anyone who's listening, I'm considering getting a new mountain bike, and I've been really weighing up trying to find something that I like. I want power, but I also want slightly short travel. This bike seems to tick it, and I'm surprised because I'm looking more towards Bosch personally, and this has got Shimano, but I'm really considering it.
Yeah, it looks really good.
That's
super interesting.
Different.
All right, next up we've got the longest bike name in the world. Ready? Cube AMS Hybrid 144C : 68X Super TM 400X29.
You can say that again.
We've got this bike.
We do, and the rear brake doesn't work.
No, we need to sort out that rear brake.
Hello.
But
I can help you. I can help you.
Can you do that?
I can bleed my rear brakes. It's fine. But crazy name. Good looking bike. Crazy name.
Yeah, the bike actually is really good value. It's a really clean looking bike as well. I think their design language has changed somewhat over the past few years. Super light, and it is 18 kilos? But the thing with these bikes is they do the entry level one at a lighter weight than the more expensive ones.
Yeah, you said that beforehand. That's crazy to think, because I think whenever I'd spoken about SLs, is the thing with getting a lightweight e-bike is you're never going to get one for cheap, because arguably you have to spend certain components. An upgrade is just a lighter version of the same thing. So you're normally having to spend more. So is it coming down to spec? Yeah,
so what they do on the cheaper one is it comes with a 34 fork and what else? It's basically
plastic drive chain, like an NX or some SX.
It's a less burly build, but it's
and maybe
like
they
17.
call that the AMS Hybrid 144C68X not super. Maybe it would be like NXTM 300X29.
Yes, very, very long name, which I don't know why they don't just call it, I don't know, Bob or something. Just make it
But it blows
easier.
my mind that that's got to go through a team of people to go, yeah. So we're going to launch, so everyone ready for the website, ready for this. No one's gone, guys, seriously, the name.
Yes.
Can we not, like, you can't even abbreviate that. No,
I think it's just the 144. Like,
yeah, but even like having the name hybrid in there can confuse a lot of people. You've got to think about the end consumer. Otherwise, Cube, great job.
Yeah, I think they're doing all right selling bikes as well, though. Like, so obviously,
I think they make a lot of money though from a production point of view. I think they've got like manufacturing fingers in pockets, like giant. Anyway,
but the bike actually rides quite well. But they just need to sort out the name, and the value for money is pretty good. I would say.
What's the price on the entry level one? Do you know?
I think it's 4,999.
That's pretty
good.
good.
And the top of the range is 7,999. So
that's really.
It's not often you get a top spec bike for that price.
No,
is it?
not 7,999.
It's full factory. It's got Magura carbon levers,
It's XX1 rear mech as well.
Yeah.
For that price.
T-type.
Carbon wheels.
Cube, you're crazy.
Bosch SX motor.
Yeah.
So the thing is with Cube, they spend money on things like not marketing.
I was going to say, they don't spend money on naming bikes.
Yeah, evidently.
They've gone into ChatGPT and been like, here's all the information, give it a name.
I'm going to put this into ChatGPT
and say, rename
and
this.
see if it can summarize this. Hold on.
What would you call this bike?
How do I do a new...
Probably up at the top, file
right.
New. Oh, there you go.
You are the world's best
bike
marketing manager. We need a better name for this bike.
Can you just put the link on it and send it the link?
Here we go. See what it does. Sure.
That's creative.
Trailblazer 400X Hybrid Pro.
Can we get the air horn for that? That is that name. If a bike was called Trailblazer 400K Hybrid Pro, that thing would have flames on it as a paint job.
Brilliant. All right. What else have we got?
ChatGPT succeeds once again.
Okay, next up we got the Focus VAM2.
Not VAM2, VAM squared.
You're choosing all the short travel bikes there, aren't you?
This is an SL, so I'm not as persuaded by SL. But yeah, so VAM squared SL 9.0.
Why do you like this?
I don't necessarily like it.
Oh.
Who said I liked it? No, I just think it's another neat looking bike. It looks very similar to the Cube. But again, same as the Propain. They've got a really interesting linkage design. I'd like that. And flex days. So again, it's a shorter travel bike that's lightweight, and I think that it fits in. Like, it's a 66.5 degree head angle, so it is very much more like an XC style bike, which maybe, we were saying maybe we'll see the end of lightweight bikes. Maybe XC bikes in the e-mountain bike space will be the lightweight bikes. Anything that will have a motor that is sub 50 newton meters will just be like a 130 and below travel e-mountain bike.
Yeah. It's like would you call it a down country?
I wouldn't even call that down country. The geometry doesn't. I'd say it's like a cross country bike. Really, it's got like spec wise 180mm front and rear rotors. It's got level SRAM level ultimates. So they are XC brakes. It's got the Fox Transfer SL. So this is like a lightweight as you can get kind of style short travel bike. Fazua Ride 60. So again, it's quite a punchy motor for such a short travel bike, but.
66.5 degree head angle. That is like really steep, isn't it?
It'd be good for the Swinley KOMs, I think.
Do you remember when we were filming the other day and we saw one of the guys on a XC bike in Lycra? No, in Swinley, Red 15, absolutely ripping down that trail.
Yeah. He was moving. He was like quite a young guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on probably it might have even been a hardtail, but he was bombing.
He was going so far in the full Lycra.
Absolutely hauling down.
And that didn't convince you that you don't need 180mm travel at Swinley?
I just need to dial up the compression damping a little bit on my 180 with my new Vivid coil and RockShox Zeb.
Oh, yeah.
Which really cool. But we'll come on to that if we've got time in a bit. All right, next up we've got the Unno Icky.
Is that how it's pronounced?
How would you pronounce it?
Okay.
like that. Icky.
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 I think a lot of people don't like this bike because of the seat tube.
I really like that bike.
I really like that bike. I think Unno
Yeah, that's
they've got a
bike.
very clean design language.
I feel like it looks like it should have a dual crown on it. I think it'll look really good with a dual crown on.
I think it's maybe you're like, because of how low the top tube is, it looks way more like a downhill.
It does.
Downhill frame. But I just think it's a really nice bike. I think like if it was spec'd with anything other than that TQ motor, I'd be disappointed. A bike that's like, Unno are a brand that are the cutting edge, and they're doing things differently, and they did a lot of cool stuff in house. So I think if they didn't put the TQ motor, it'd been disservice. And they got a quote from you.
Yeah, nice. Didn't know
So
that.
sublime that I could bet you nobody.
Slimline.
Oh, sorry. So slimline that I bet you nobody could pick it out.
You
I picked this
pictured
out
that
as
quote.
being an e-bike.
Let Rob read it.
Yeah. Oh,
He
no,
said
no,
it.
no, no.
Did I
can't.
actually say that? I guess I did. Yeah.
They might be paraphrasing.
But you can't tell that's an e-bike. Like it's, in fact, they've got a some of their other bikes, their regular pedal bikes.
Oh, look, exactly the same.
They are virtually identical.
I think the profile of like the silhouette of the side of them is the difference in the tubes is like next to nothing. Just crazy. So yeah, it's mixed wheel size as well. Geometry on this bike. So it's only got a 630 watt hour battery.
What?
No, 360 watt hour battery.
Say.
So not 630, 360. Range extender compatible. But where's the geometry numbers?
It's a bike designed for people that like regular pedal bikes, that want that kind of feel of riding a bike, because pedaling up a hill, even in turbo, you need to put in a lot of effort, but it's so quiet to ride, both uphill. There's virtually no motor noise or whine at all. And going down, there's no like motor backlash or any kind of rattling at all. It's the most pedal-like feeling bike, regular pedal-like feeling bike I've ever tried. In fact, most of the TQs are similar, like the Mondraker Neat, but this looks so stealthy. I think they've done a great job packaging all of that in with the rear suspension down there, where motors normally take up quite a lot of bulk. I don't think with a bigger motor you'd be able to do that kind of similar suspension design.
It does have a price tag to match, though.
Yeah.
The factory spec one is €13,095. But again, you buy into
boutique.
Are
exactly.
we choosing this for that price or that Golf Mondraker Neat for that price?
I would choose the Unno.
Would you?
What are you saying, Rob?
The problem with the Unno is, what was it? I think the seat tube stack was really high on that, which is funny because that's what the Mondraker's like. I'm quite particular to a low seat tube stack. I find I like to get it completely out the way.
It's high on the Neat as well.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, actually, no. The Neat. Sorry, I'm getting confused. The Dune is the one that is high on. The Neat, I think, is a little bit lower on, but not much lower.
I'm going to check the seat tube height.
So you take the Mondraker then because of that?
I'll balance it out and go for the Mondraker in that Golf colour, because I really like that Golf colour.
I think the same with you when we rode this Unno. The seat tube is just too high. So I think that's the only reason I wouldn't choose this.
Yeah, looks like you should be able to get a hacksaw and just chop it down a little bit.
Do you think maybe we should have tried that when we had it and then given
seat
it
tube
back?
length on an XL Mondraker Neat?
Yeah.
Take a guess.
480?
490.
That's
exactly
high.
same. That's the same as the Unno.
I
so
think
the Mondraker is exactly the same seat tube length as the Unno, but the rest of the geometry depends on how high the bottom bracket is and various other things that can play into that feeling of not feeling comfortable having your saddle slammed or not.
Yeah. Will?
I was just thinking, why did we have what was so? If they got the same seat tube length, then why did it feel worse?
Why did which one feel worse?
This Unno,
because the rest of the geometry depends on, and maybe it's a
The
psychological thing where how low the top tube goes down.
yeah, maybe.
It's got, and that's also got a rear rhombus. Not the not the next one, but the Unno.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was maybe I just couldn't slam it that far. Maybe even though it's got same seat tube stack height, you just can't get that dropper down as much. I don't know. But I noticed it on both the bikes, to be fair. I can't remember noticing it so much on the Neat. And I think maybe because the Neat's not really like an enduro bike. I think when it gets steeper, I notice longer stacks on the seat tubes more because you're pointing down.
And also, if you sit into the travel more, that's obviously going to push that saddle out of the way a little bit more because it's going to push it lower down. So there's a whole host of different things that could play factor to it. But again, what's the travel on the neat? It's 150, 160.
No, I think it's 150. I think it's 140 rear, is it? Quick clarification check. You are the bike geometry nerd. I thought
150, 160.
Oh.
Got ya. See? Told you.
You did tell me.
So yeah, again, it's and the Unno is 150, 160.
160, 170. Hold on, let's just clarify
that would suggest that you'd sit more in the travel on the Unno than the neat.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the Dune versus the Unno in terms of riding what you've had here at the same time, right?
No, the neat.
The neat. Okay.
Yeah, we had them both. Well, all at the same time. We had a few TQ bikes. Right, next up, the Transition Repeater SRAM powertrain. I really like the clean look of this. Lines on it are great. Horse link, classic rear suspension.
Looks like a session.
Looks like a session, but it looks really nice. Got the SRAM powertrain. I've never seen one of these bikes in real life ever. I don't know.
You don't see a lot of transitions in the UK. You start to see a few more recently, but not e-bikes.
I've ridden this.
Have you?
Do tell.
What, with SRAM powertrain?
No, I rode the old one. Did they do one without it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I rode
the
that
repeater.
one.
And
I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
Had it at Rogate for a day of filming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was a bike.
It was. It didn't feel like anything special. It was just a good e-bike, you know.
Yeah. Nothing stood out. You weren't like blown away
I'm
with
trying
it.
to remember.
It doesn't look that standout. It looks really nice and neat and clean, but it looks like a lot of 4-bar bikes.
I think it's always hard to gauge things after one day of riding as well at one location. Like sometimes you have to take bikes to different locations.
You can get like a good first feel of it, can't you? You can. I find I fall down a bike, I can get a good understanding of like how it rides. Maybe not all the nuances about everything, but you can generally get.
I think if you've got multiple bikes on the same day, or you can kind of just like, this is going to sound like a really weird analogy. It's like if I've been to a wine tasting thing, I can tell the difference between wines quite easily. But if you're just drinking one wine, you're not going to go, oh, I can tell the difference.
Right. How often do you go for one of these wine tasting
Not very
sessions?
often, that's the whole point.
You've been on one before this?
Yes.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question? Could you tell the difference between a wine that's £15 and £100 blindfolded?
Probably not.
Right. Would you be able to tell the difference between an e-bike blindfolded if one was £4,000 or £14,000 just riding it down a trail?
Good question.
Maybe that's a test.
I think I probably could. Nuances like feeling the brakes, like little things in spec and how loud it is or how loud it isn't, but it'd be difficult.
Yeah.
It would be. No, that's a good point. But then again, I'd like to think of myself as more of an e-mountain bike connoisseur than a wine connoisseur.
I think we should do the test after doing the wine tasting.
Yeah, let's go hard. Let's go hard. No, but again, so I think the transition looks really good, but it's like quite a 4-bar looking bike, you know.
I like that. I think it looks really clean. I think it's aesthetically pleasing. It does look. Would you call it generic then? But
that's what I mean. Is it shouldn't be generic, but it does look a little generic nowadays. I don't know why.
I like that.
They've stuck to it. And
it's angular, isn't it? It's angular again.
Yeah,
I like the sharp lines.
Yeah, I saw the Fazua powered one last year when it was released, and I thought that looked really cool. And it's the same design.
Is that the relay?
Yes, that's it. Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got the Whyte. Oh, sorry, Whyte.
No, the Whyte E-Lyte.
Whyte E-Lyte.
Yeah, but if you say that as the Whyte E-Lyte.
Whyte E-Lyte.
Actually, Whyte E-Lyte.
Yeah, I like
got
that.
a 150 and a 140. I think this looks really like the Cannondale Moterra.
It's kind of similar, isn't it? But Bosch SX, lightweight. This has got really good recommendations and reviews from people.
I think this is the bike that saved Whyte.
Do you think?
I think, yeah, because they've had their whole rebranding, and they didn't. Don't get me wrong, I love Whyte. I used to have a T130, one of my first proper full sasses. Really just like the brand back in the day, but they didn't do anything that different for a long time, right? Like, even if they've updated geometry on models, the T130 doesn't look like the T130 since like 2014. Same with the E160 and the E180 SX. Both of those bikes look the same, right? It's that
they do look
big
similar,
down tube. It's all quite, like aluminium welded, this, that. And then this came out. I saw this at Eurobike and I was like, oh, that's different. It's kind of up to date with modern bikes. And I think it saved their bacon. They genuinely do.
Didn't this win an award or something? Was that
It's one of a few.
It says BP recommends. Who's that?
BP, the oil company.
Don't know. BP recommends. What's that logo?
Bike people.
Bike people. But
so
yeah.
it's got MBUK Bike of the Year. It's got
Bike Perfect. Sorry, that's what that BP is. Sorry,
that is Guy Kesteven, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you got MBUK have got it Bike of the Year. It's really Pink Bike quote is the Whyte E-Lyte is the best handling EMTB I've ever ridden.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's big claims and it's cool. Like little things, Hope Tech V4s.
That's it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
like
cool.
Hope hubs. They've always done Hope hubs for a long time. So even like their hardtails, like the 909 and the 404, have like a Hope rear hub. Like cool little things.
Which one's the Hope Tech V4 on them? Because this is the S.
That's the 140 works.
Oh,
so if you go to the 150 works, that's your Fox Factory 36s, the Float X Factory, carbon wheels, T-type transmission, Hope cranks on the Bosch SX. Cool little extra.
And I think they're 155 crank arms as well, which is it's a neat little touch. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, just fact check that for
Let's
me.
go. Yeah. Where are we going? Crank set. Yeah, 155s.
Yeah.
That's interesting because what you want out of the Bosch SX is cadence. The better the faster the cadence, the more it gets you up to full speed.
That is a good point.
So, I'd love to have a go on it.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool looking bike.
Well, we've just got a Whyte E180 in.
Yeah.
Like the big travel.
Big boy.
Big one.
Big Bertha.
So maybe we can, after that, get the Whyte E-Lyte.
White or Whitey?
No, Whyte, sorry.
Whyte E-Lyte.
Whyte E-Lyte. That's what it's called. Whyte E-Lyte. Right, next up we've got the Scott Voltage
eRIDE.
eRIDE 900 tuned 2024. This is another bike that we had in recently.
Where's the rear shock? Whoa.
What do you like about this one?
Me?
Yeah. You picked it.
Yeah, well, no, I just put them on a list. This is all the new ones.
I've got something ready to say that I like about this. If you need time to think,
please.
I like what you literally just said, that the shock is in there. The only thing is where you lose. I remember when we first saw the bike in person, and you told me you'd lost the air cap in the frame.
The very first time I took the shock off to pump it up, I dropped the air cap in there.
It's user error, though, isn't it? It's not really a fault of the bike.
It's basically impossible to retrieve.
Is it really?
I think it's in the rear rhombus.
But
no, that's a rear triangle. Sorry, that's a rear triangle.
The fact that the shock is safe from the elements, I really like that.
Yeah.
Must do well. You're the mechanic.
I don't.
Does
like
that not
it.
help with service intervals?
No.
Does it not?
No.
Okay, I don't care then.
No.
Why does it not? Surely it's going to get less like dust and debris on the
but
shaft.
That's not really the biggest factor necessarily. It's just constant movement and use, and it will get stuff in. There's going to be swarf on the like carbon bits that come off the frame, and there is going to be other stuff in there. And again, arguably, it's just a case of keeping it lubricated and clean. And so that's all fine. Service intervals might be a little bit longer, but then it's going to take twice the time to get the shock out. So as much as I put it on there, it's not my hottest bikes. This is just some of the latest and greatest bikes. So it's cool tech. I wouldn't get it. I'm not a big fan.
It is cool tech. It's a cool piece of innovation. I like how they've thought creatively to create that frame, because we just talked about the transition and we said it looks kind of standard and like every other bike. But then, I think it's really cool to see adventurous brands experimenting with different things and different carbon shapes and things and being creative to create something.
And
like
it's
that.
another one of those weird bikes. I say weird bikes. It's quite an interesting bike that sits in this category, because the Voltage classically from Scott was like the free ride bike, right? It was either a hardtail or a free ride bike.
It was a dirt jump bike first, pretty sure, and then it became their free ride bike.
Tell me more. You like real?
Well, no, I just
give me the
remember
facts.
my friend got a Voltage YZ or something dirt jump bike in like 2005, maybe even.
Yeah, and then you could get all the full sus voltages, which came with the.
They were iconic. Like Vinny T shredding those in Châtel and places like that.
Straight up, like they were a cool bike. So now this is like the new version of it, but it's a long travel TQ motorbike. So it's like low-powered, long travel.
Well, it's not really that long travel.
No,
It's
is
like
it not?
150, 160.
Oh, I thought it was longer travel because of the voltage.
No.
I think in a time where we've been mocking everyone's, I mean, it's still quite a long name, but the Voltage is like probably one of the best names for an e-bike, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I like that.
I like the transition though. Relay, repeater.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool name. It's all electronic components. I thought that was quite good.
Before we get on to the final two bikes, I've got a present for both of you.
Oh,
I forgot to
This is very sweet.
to give you these. So Peaty's.
It's very hard to fit an e-bike in that box.
Yeah, that's in the big box outside. Peaty's have just bought out some new grips.
Oh, mega.
So they asked what you guys wanted. So
Thank you so much.
there is some grips and they do a couple of different designs. Oh, they feel good. Different colours. In fact,
Can we get like an ASMR of you moving the fins against the... Oh, you can get that.
Oh.
And then like a little tap on it somewhere. It's cardboard
hold
packaging.
on.
Oh, I like it.
I'll let you experience that delight.
Thank you.
So these are mushroom thin.
That's
Oh,
me.
those are yours, yeah.
And then
And I got the thick boys.
you got the thick ones.
Skinny mushrooms, is that your rap name?
Little mushroom, actually.
Little
mush.
MC
And then
Mush.
Will I Am. These are mushroom thick.
Thank you.
32 to 34.
You
They
are now
really
rocking with Will I Am and mushroom grips. Thank you, Peaty's.
Yes, thank you.
No, that's that. Honestly, these feel amazing.
Oh. Wait, let me feel those.
No.
Can I run one thick, one thin?
Yeah, you could do.
Is that strange?
Is that like corrective soles in your shoes? If you've got, like, I don't know,
I'll turn harder right.
You have to.
What I like about Peaty's is their packaging. It's all
Yeah, it's all really
just
nice.
like-
It's like cardboard, isn't it?
yeah,
Recyclable.
recyclable. And they're made from, Will, you were looking at this the other
Yes.
day.
Recycled ocean plastics. 80%. The grip core is made from that. So,
So where's the last 20% coming from? No, we don't know.
It's
don't
made
know.
of fish or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's something that we're always appreciative of, isn't it? When stuff's made from recycled
Yes,
materials.
definitely. It does make a difference.
With our £10,000 carbon fibre bikes.
And just to describe, so the texture options, you've got mushroom, which is this lovely ASMR like ribbed section, and you've got the knurl, knurl.
No, yeah, it's
No.
like a barbell,
That's the
isn't
one,
it?
Yeah, so
Like-
that's like the
Here you go.
harder rubber has more of a thud on it. There you go.
Oh, have you got the same? Yours
Yeah,
now?
I've got-
right.
yeah.
Okay.
No, they're a really nice grip.
Yeah. Thank you, Peaty's.
Yes, thank you.
Right. What else have we got next? We have got two more bikes: the Norco Fluid VLT.
BLT.
What does VLT
It's
stand
the
for?
Volt. It's their
Oh,
Volt, lettuce
Volt.
and
Yeah,
tomato.
Sorry,
Volt lettuce and tomato. Voltage lettuce and tomato.
it's very transition repeater esque, isn't it?
I quite like the transition. Not transition. From the paint, how it blends.
Yeah.
It's like, did you guys see a few years ago? I think it was probably Keelan Grant or Elliot Heap or one of the Nuke Proof riders had like a Guinness
That's what I was thinking. It's like
Guinness
a Guinness,
coloured,
isn't it?
yeah, Guinness coloured bike. So it's got that like really nice fade.
Yeah.
It'd probably be Keelan Grant, knowing he's Irish. So, but that reminds me of that, and I was like, that's a nice paint job to come on a stock bike. For
I
sure.
really like that, actually, saying it looks a bit generic. I think there's nothing wrong with generic. I think it looks really good.
I see what you mean. It's really straight lines as well with the
Yeah.
repeater and 4-bar horse link. Again, there's only so different. You can make 4-bar horse link. You've
Yeah,
got
but
a
they
rocker link.
work well.
No,
Like,
exactly.
they
I'm
perform
not
so well.
complaining about them. I like them. It's that whole looks like a session. But, you know, we talked about the Focus and the Propain, and they both have quite unique designs.
Yeah.
Again, they're not tried and tested. Not at all.
Yeah. So this is
4-bar horse link.
Bosch SX.
Yes.
And what's the travel?
It's a 140, 150.
Okay.
19.3 kilos.
Yeah, this came out. This came out just after the launch, so this was the first one that came out. Was just around Eurobike and around that Bosch launch, and they hinted at it. And I just think it's a really neat looking bike.
Yeah.
Cable entry, everything like that is done well. There's no hidden worries.
Yeah.
You know, there's no really weird out of the way things that are going to catch you out, like headset cable routing, and it's just a solid setup.
Can't see the price anywhere on here.
Continental Cryptiles. There you go. for you, Rob?
Well, I have my tyre combo of choice at the moment is I've been using the Crypto Towel on the rear and the Assegai on the front.
Nice.
Yeah, mixing brands. Which,
combination.
It's like an ick.
But that Crypto Towel in super soft downhill lasts ages. I did, what was it? What did we do in finale? How many days riding? 3 or 4?
2 or 3, yeah.
Right. Max Grip DHR2 was done after. It was brand new when we went there.
3C Max Grip.
Yeah. Virtually like destroyed from riding in finale for a few days. That has lasted really well so far. All right. Next up, on the final bike, we've got Marin's new Alpine Trail, but the Bosch version.
Looks like a Marin, but with Bosch. So added benefits.
Yeah, so I rode the original Alpine. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it
I've
here.
popped the wrong link on there, that's why.
I see.
My bad.
No, okay, that's fine. I'll grab it. So
Marin Alpine Trail E2 Bosch.
E2 Bosch.
They've been making some nice bikes, actually, haven't they? I think they've been doing loads of custom paint jobs and stuff recently. I keep seeing on
Stuff from
Instagram.
Hardline and stuff.
Oh, bonus battery worth $800. So when you buy some EMTBs, select Marin EMTBs, you get a bonus battery.
Oh, that one looks really nice, I think.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about the shock position?
That's what I like about it.
Again, it's another 4-bar horse link, but the lower part of the shock kind of pushes out at an angle, which gives it more travel, essentially.
It's more forwards, isn't it?
It'll adjust how the progression is on that shock because of the way it compresses. Good price.
$6,599. Fox 38 Performance Elite DHX2. I love it when they do this, like the Privateer. They make like rider focused spec bikes. It's not about car park show off, to your point last week.
Yep.
It's about actually getting the most bang for buck. I really like this bike, actually.
Mixed wheel size. I'm going to have a quick look at the Geo because it looks to be really good Geo. So head tube angle, 63.5.
Yeah, nice.
Really, really good. That's like, what's the travel on it? It's like a 180 bike, isn't it?
Let's have a look. So it is 170, 160.
Okay, so slack for a 170, 160 bike. Seat tube angle, 69 degrees.
No. 69?
Sorry, 79.
Yeah,
Jesus.
79. That's
What's
steep.
going on? 79. 69 would be slack as anything. BB drop is, BB height is 352. Chainstay.
Yeah, a bit too short for me, but
435 seems to be the going trend. Is that's probably the shortest you can go on a 27.5-inch rear wheel.
I think we should appreciate the fact they're making alloy bikes with really good spec as well.
Yeah, so it's not like aluminium is seen as the cheaper option of a spec range, which is cool. And a 160 crank length, so not arguably massively short, but
I've got to say, Will, to your point, I would gladly take an aluminium bike over a carbon bike if the spec was the same. Like, I don't see, honestly, any need personally for carbon bikes on an e-bike. I think the weight saving is negligible. Yeah, you can make some more complex shapes with carbon and the material has benefits, but like I would gladly take the weight saving. And I just like aluminium bikes as well.
The thickness of the carbon on e-bike frames means that the characteristics, you're not getting necessarily all of the characteristics of carbon that you'd expect. Like the kind of the flex and some of those dampening effects because it's so thick for a lot of for a lot of e-bikes. So yeah, I'm not as fussed on frame material when it comes to e-bikes. Again, you've got a motor to kind of take out any weight differences. But I do still say I prefer the feel of a carbon bike over an aluminium bike.
Could you tell?
Yeah.
Like, do you really think you could tell?
Well, this is a good transition, but I want to end on one last thing. So the transition for me is the components. So on every single bike,
what transition?
Not the bike, as in a transition to another topic on Torming of Dream Components. Is that for almost every e-mountain bike or any e-mountain bike I get, I change to carbon handlebars straight off the bat.
Really?
Always.
I'd do the opposite.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of people do, and I get a lot of stick for it. But honestly, that was the biggest thing that helped with arm pump.
And you've broken carbon handlebars as well, haven't you?
I've snapped just 3 sets,
and
but they like all 3 of those were knockout crashes.
Do you mind if I
handlebars?
Which is there a particular brand of carbon handlebar you use? Why are you
Oh
laughing?
no! I've snapped. I thought you were going to ask.
No. Like what do you use?
So the best bars I've ever feel wise and strength and all the rest of it, with the SRAM Descendants, with their Truvative Descendants now. Same company, same bars, just different name. I currently have the Berg Tech DH carbon bars on one of my bikes, on my Izzo. And yeah, don't like Renthal carbons because they're really thick.
Okay. I'm the opposite. I don't care for carbon bars at all. I like the one-up carbon bars.
Yeah, but I had them and
yeah,
I
don't see they do flex. You can actually put them on like a desk and you can move them. But I've got to be honest, the only carbon part I actually think is worthwhile on an e-bike is wheels, because you never have to mess around. You never have to true them. They never get dented or dinged. They can get catastrophic failure, which I've had one recently-ish that's cracked. But the amount of alloy rims that I've dinged and they won't seal and you have to true them and do the tension. Carbon wheels, the modern carbon wheel is brilliant.
I agree. I changed to carbon wheels, and building carbon wheels from a person who likes building wheels is the easiest thing, because you just tension them up. There's not any flex in the material when you're truing them up, which is great. And you know they're going to stay strong. So even if something goes slightly out, you can just tension it back up. You're good to go. They're running true, and you can see things. I had a crack on a big DH carbon rim that I had. Didn't explode or anything like that, and I just marked it on the rim and just made sure it didn't get too far until my warranty replacement ones came, and it was absolutely fine. But the last thing I wanted to ask you on the topic of best bikes, out of the list of bikes that we've put out today, which is the bike that you guys would go for? What would be the bike out of that list where you're like, that's a bit of me, it's a bit of sauce?
Okay, I would pick, out of all of those bikes, if I had to choose one, it's going to be possibly that Scor.
Really?
Well,
He dropped the Nicolai. Doesn't care about the Nicolai.
Hold on. I forgot that was on there.
All right, let's say ignore the list.
The thing is, I've ordered that one, so it's like...
That's one and done.
Okay, other than that one then.
Yeah, other than that.
The only thing with the Scor is the chainstay is too short for me. I would have to...
But the Scor is
I like the long
feel.
travel. I like the Bosch. I like the everything about it, other than a couple of things. But that's the one that I thought, wow, that looks cool. It's like the type of bike that I like.
Cool. Will?
For me, I'm taking that Orbea Rise, I think.
Sweet. Okay, that says a lot.
Yeah, it's the only one I've only ridden like 3 of the ones on the list, but I really like that. I think
maybe I know we talk like, because I haven't ridden all of these by any means, but when we started, I'd probably go the GasGas, or maybe even the Scor. But as soon as I saw that Cannondale,
I'm not choosing it because it's one of the only ones I've ridden. I'm choosing it for a few things like the weight and the power, and the few little things we spoke about, like the flip chip and the tool in it, and just the paint jobs even.
I think that's the sweet spot for you, isn't it? Like you want a lightweight bike, but you're not really limiting yourself really in any way on that bike. Yeah. Choosing a lightweight bike,
and with the coil on the back, it felt epic. I only rode it at Swinley, but
yeah,
I'm gonna go for the Cannondale.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. It's a lightweight bike as well. I can't believe it. Anyway,
you go for a lightweight.
Yeah, I'm really keen to try it,
guys. We're gonna need to push our best like dream components until next week's show. So subscribe if you want to be the first to see that. Thanks for coming in and chatting bikes, and hopefully you guys liked it. And we're loving doing these podcasts. I love all the feedback that people leave, and like it's just cool to be able to chat bikes and have mates in to talk stuff. Like, yeah, it's cool, man. So thanks for coming in and chatting bikes again.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, and thanks for joining the ride audience.
No worries. Cheers, guys.
See you.
Bye.